Good evening and welcome. It's evening for me. I don't know when it is where you are. You could be watching this at 2 o'clock in the morning for all I know. I'm Jacko and this is Untitled Brew Co. and welcome to Homebrew Wednesday. I haven't done one in quite some time. Just haven't really had anything worthwhile to talk about. I'm sure there's a few of you out there saying you never have anything worthwhile to talk about, but hey, it is what it is. So I've been doing a couple of grain to glasses and one grain to drain video recently, and I think it was at the end of all the other IPA, the Ipa video, where I did sort of stick in a miniature HBW at the very end of that video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a wee bit different. Spoiler alert, it's grain to drain. It didn't make it to glass, unfortunately. But it's worth watching. I think so anyway. It is slightly different than my normal videos. But anyway, moving on. So at the end of that video, as I say, I've done a miniature Homebrew Wednesday on the end of that, just to sort of focus me for the year ahead. And here we are, 21st of January. And I have a sheet where I've written down my notes for that. That particular bit of the video. You guys think I just wing this, but no, I have notes. And what I've written here, which was my script for that video, brew day, Ipa, numbers, etc. Next brew, stout, Rye Ipa, Rye Ipa, Red X, lager. And that was sort of what I went through in that video. So don't have to worry about the Ipa. It's been done to death. If you want to find out about it, watch it. Nah, whatever. Next brew I've written is a stout. It wasn't. The next brew that I did, which was earlier today, was the Brew With Us Vienna lager from the Malt Miller. So I've recorded that much of a video to go on the end of that video, and now I'm going to struggle through. We'll struggle through. So why did it change up the brews? Well, the stout is for St. Patrick's Day, which is coming up, and the lager was for the Super Bowl. And the very basic maths of it is Super Bowl is in February 13th, February 12th. That's a good bet because it sort of runs over from midnight past, and it's definitely not the 14th because that's something else. Can't put my finger on it, but anyway, 12th and 13th, as long as it's not the 11th, I think I've won there. And St. Patrick's Day is in March, obviously, 17th of March. I'm sure it's anybody that's watching this video who drinks beer, it's marked in the calendar, circles around it, arrows pointing towards it. It is what it is. So, yeah, unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, a bit of good luck. No, we can't call it good luck. Unfortunately, I was involved in a car crash yesterday, so I'm currently off work, which has freed me up for the weekend. Not that I'm going to be going out getting wild or whatever, but I will be able to do my stout. If maybe not tomorrow, certainly the next day or two. Not an awful lot of heavy lifting in brewing, so I'm alright to do it when I'm off work, I think. Yeah, so that's it. So that's basically where we're at. I don't want to talk too much about the Vienna because you will see it come up soon. Safe to say, it's in the fermenter, it's been fermented under pressure, and it will be ready in 3 weeks. Will it? Wonder will it? Hopefully it does. Ah well. Yeah, so going down the list then, so we've moved lager from the bottom to the top. So we've done it. We've done our next brew, which was a lager. We're now going on to our next brew, which it says here is a stout. So, you know, we're still on for the right sort of thing. Just want to talk very, very, very quickly about this beer. This was or it still is, the Victoria's Secret Vic's Secret birthday beer. I've done a review for it. There's a grain to glass somewhere on the channel. I've done a review for it at the time, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I liked it, but having sent a couple of them out, so one went to Stephen Burton, one went to Rick Shaw, and one went to, oh yes, one went to the Highroad Brewery, Mr. Lynch there. But I've seen the videos that Stephen and Rick have done. Rick just put his up last night as I'm recording this. And they were both very impressed with it, more so than I myself am, or was, so should I say. You are your own worst critic. If you're anything like me, anyway, I am definitely my own worst critic. But they were picking up flavours and stuff that I just didn't get when I was tasting this at the end of the review in the class. Now, for me, we're in January now. If I look at my batches on Brewfather, archived, 20th birthday, conditioning, bottling day. Yeah, bottling day was November 30th. Should definitely remember that. We'll cut that out. Bottling day was November the 30th. So for me, it's way past its best. It is starting to get past its best now, but I have been drinking this since Christmas off the tap, off the keg. And it has been absolutely fantastic in January. Massive pineapple notes that I wasn't getting at the start when I done the grain to glass. And a good sort of passion fruit, but the pineapple was not there at all. And then I started to wonder, because I'd read about pineapple, so I'd done the video, sent some to Stephen. I think I might even watch Stephen's video before I started drinking it again, because I thought the keg was pretty much empty, but it turned out it was about a quarter left of the keg. So I started drinking again, and I was getting, particularly on the nose at this stage, so this was about 2 weeks ago, loads and loads of, sorry, I'm fittering, loads and loads of pineapple on the nose. Like, you could set the glass down on the floor beside the sofa, and the next thing you're smelling pineapple cordial. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was drinking it, a whole big session on it one night. And if you've watched Stephen's video, you'll know that was dangerous, because what are we talking about here? Gravity. Claimed to be 4.5%. Between watching Stephen's video and remembering the hangover I had the following morning, it's definitely not 4.5%. So it is. It's a little cold. I'm getting a bit of the pineapple on the taste at the minute, but the nose is definitely dying away here now. But the big thing is, that's November to December is 1 month, and we're basically towards the end of month 2. There's a lot to be said for just letting the conditioning go that little bit longer than you would think. And it's something I'm going to do. That R-bar technique from, not from R-bar, obviously, but Andrew Lynch put the video up originally. It's good, and I think he done it with Citra. I haven't watched the video recently, but I think he done it with Citra. And I wonder, are some hops perhaps more, do they need more time to come through and develop? Now I did a smash-ish. I did, what was it, Mars Hot Air and Torfied Wheat, sorry, beg your pardon. But look at, before I finish this, look at the clarity on that now compared to what it was in the original video. So it's just food for thought. Maybe give your beers an extra couple of weeks, or in my case, an extra month to drink them, and you'll appreciate it, I would say. I don't think, I mean, obviously you've got those big Nipas that need to be drank sort of out of the fermenting bucket, basically. But you're just your standard IPAs, your pale ales, maybe even your blondes. You probably just need to leave them an extra couple of weeks on what you think, and you probably thank yourself for doing it. So it's something I'm going to learn this year, a bit of self-restraint. Not going to do it with the lager, obviously. I've got a deadline of the day that needs to be drunk. Stout, yeah, I'm going to have it. It probably won't be at its best for St. Patrick's Day, but it'll be a few pints drunk anyway. A lot of it's going to be bottled and shipped out. I'm growing quite a list of people that I need to ship beer to. Well, I don't need to, just want to. So there's quite a list growing there. If you want your name added to the list, drop me a line. You can leave a comment below. You can get me on the BrewTube Facebook forum. I talk about this quite a lot. But yeah, so just moving on then. What did I do? Did I do anything differently in today's brew? Not really. A few just housekeeping things. Sort of cleaned as I went, a bit better than I have done before. Be very interested actually to watch. A lot of people done sort of over the last month or so the top 5 things that you should do when you're brewing, or the top 5 things that I do when I'm brewing, and they're the best 5 things that I do. I haven't bothered doing that because I don't think I have 5 things that are different than anybody else. But I watched one recently, and I can't remember whose video it was, some American dude, or certainly not British or Irish dude. And one of the things he'd done, and I was like a moment to me, but he said, just have a cloth or 2 about, and I always have a towel because I'm always washing my hands and just always, I'm like that. So I always have a tea towel in my waistband, just to dry my hands or clean things off. But he had like a dishcloth, a clean dishcloth, sort of wrapped around his. I think it was a grandfather he was using. I could be completely wrong. It was just to wipe up any overboil, or when the it's not a crowd, what is it? A hot break. Whenever it dies down, you're left with that crust around your kettle. He just wipes that off while the boil's going on. And I've done all that today, and I'll tell you what, cleaning this afternoon or this evening was just an absolute doddle. So that's my top tip. Have a wee cloth about just to give things a wee wipe down. Yeah. So we'll see about the Nipa for now. I'm still doing a wee bit of research into that. I want to develop this pineapple a bit more. I suppose the Nipa is probably a good place to do that, but partly because I have the grains downstairs, I am going to do a rye IPA, a red rye IPA, I believe. So I'm going to do that next. So don't want to give too much away on that, but it is a recipe pack from the Malt Miller. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I will give you the name if you give me a moment. Stuff amongst yourselves. Right, okay, so find it there. That's going to be a fantastic edit, probably. So the red IPA, or the rye IPA I'm going to do is a red brick rye by somebody called John Finch. John, if you've happened to come upon this video, then fair play to you. Seems unlikely. This recipe is taken from the book Beer Craft by John Finch. An amber ale with rye malt to add dry biscuit quality to beer. Rich malts add caramel character, and Chinook hops add citrus, pine and spice, while Cascade adds more spice and citrus with added floral notes. That sounds incredible. That sounds right up my street. If you remember last year, I did the Rusty Bucket, the Rusty Pale Kinnicker brewery from Donegal, Clone, which I really liked, and sent a couple out that were well received. So yeah, I'm looking forward to brewing this, but it is definitely second on the list behind the stout. The stout, by the way, isn't a recipe pack. It's not a recipe that I've designed either. So, yeah, it is what it is. That will all be explained in a couple of videos, which I hope to actually be hard to actually put it out on St. Patrick's Day. I don't like drinking on St. Patrick's Day. Open a bottle on the 16th, 15th, something like that, maybe. Fuck, who knows? Who knows? So yeah, so that's basically the immediate plans, and then continue my research into how I'm going to do, or my version of a New England IPA. This is the year I'm going to do it. I'm also going to revisit Altogether IPA because now I think I've got to the bottom of it, and I've decided I'm going to use the yeast that has been causing me the issues, and I'm going to double pitch it, and if it causes me issues this time, I'm going to kick it up and down the street. But yeah, I think that's really all I have for you today. Hopefully, I'm not going to do one of these once a week, definitely not. I just don't have enough to talk about. I'm too much away from brewing. So maybe do one a month or one every couple of weeks, something like that. I might have already said this at some point. But hopefully the Green the Glass videos are going to continue. A busy schedule of brewing coming up, as I've just spoken about. So hopefully I get plenty of video on that. Get it together. And then this year I am going to our lockdown here. Are we in lockdown? Are we out of lockdown? We're left foot in, right foot in, shaking all about. Bars were opening and then they were closing. I can't keep track of it anymore, to be honest with you. There was a table service thing at the moment. Oh yes, that's what the big one was. There was the rule of 6. You heard of the rule of 7. The government here in Northern Ireland decided that rule of 7 was too cliche, so they went for rule of 6. But that lifts either today or next week. There's a bit of ambiguity with that as well. But anyway, the point of all that was that this year, 2022, is the year I'm going to start attending a local brew club. I've been invited to it loads of times by a couple of guys I know that go regularly. My problem is I live about an hour, 3/4 of an hour away from Belfast, so going up and drinking loads of homebrew and driving home is not ideal, but I've sorted a solution. So hopefully I'll get involved in that. Hopefully that will push me forward with the brewing, and hopefully increase my abilities, my skills. Anyway, I've rambled on enough, guys. Always finish a Homebrew Wednesday by finishing your pint. So all remains for me to say is thanks for watching if you've made it this far. This is new. I never do this, so I'm going to do it now. If you've watched this video and you've got this far, hit the subscribe button. You'll get to laugh at me making balls ups of brew days all the time. And then I'll do wee funny videos, what I think are funny. I'll do a few of these Homebrew Wednesdays. But then, see when you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button. And then I think that means that anytime I do put up one of these, you get told that it's up. Is that how it works? I don't know. That doesn't come naturally to me. Might have to, I'll cut that out. That's not a thing you meant to say out loud. Yeah, so all remains for me to say, guys, is thanks for watching. The Green Glass video will be up next month, well, about 3 weeks' time. There'll be brew footage then coming through. I'm going around in circles. All remains for me to say again is take care. So much pineapple.